Yo, what's up? Y'all tuned into another week of Learn to Trade with EB, and it's me, EB. This week, we are going to be going through a short breakdown of my version of top down analysis. Essentially, what I want you guys to do is I want you to drop me your versions in our community Discord. If you're not a part of it, shoot me an email. We'll get you added to a community of traders that are all actively trying to learn just as you are. Before we get started, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend because we're trying to teach the masses. So we're going to start off this week very simple and easy. I'm going to essentially break it down in text on the side of the chart so that it can be seen at all times, and you'll be able to take a screenshot here and there and go back and look at the recording a few times to make sure you can grasp the concepts. Okay. Now, essentially, I want you guys to adapt what I'm going to show you and put it in a format that fits your trading style, because essentially it's you that's trading, not me. So we look for different things. Um, but what we're going to do, we're going to use GU because it is a pair that I'm learning. I want to essentially focus mainly on GU. That's one of my goals. But right now it's a pair that I am learning along with a few others. And with that, it comes a lot of chart marking and market analysis, as well as back testing. Make sure you guys are back testing all of your charts. Now, before I get into it, I do want to go and just kind of check to see what we're looking at for news on GU or any type of G pair. Um, let's see. So going going into Monday, we got a little news, but nothing that's gonna really move the market too much. So this is just gonna be something that will probably take place. Looks like Tuesday. We might see some big movement with the retail sales and core sales coming in at 8:30 on Tuesday. So this is probably when we'll expect to see this pair move for sure. So for now, let's start with the weekly time frame. And what we do on the weekly is we do major support and resistance. All right, so boom. I'm gonna put this somewhere because essentially it always gets lost once I go on a smaller frame. So I'm gonna put that right there so I can always see it. And then I'll move it out the way once we go to a smaller frame. Sound good? Bet. All right, so we can see that price got into the 4,200 area about a month ago, going on a month ago, and it hasn't yet returned. Since then, we see that it's actually been struggling with this 4,000 area. So we're going to use 4,000 as our level of resistance this week, just because we could see that consistently outside of that one time. And there was probably something here that happened this week that spiked GU up. If we go back and look, there's probably some news that pushed it that high up. But you see, since then, it hasn't yet returned. So this is our level of resistance. And if anyone follows my trading style, then you know I like to use clean numbers. So we're going to go with an equal 4,000. And essentially, I like to use these boxes here because it allows me just a visual representation that price doesn't just stop at one point. It actually goes to multiple. So let's see, that's another chart that I was working on. Oh, okay. So wait a minute. Looks like, there we go. All right. So I'll mark up a few different charts differently just to look at different perspectives. So back to where we were. There we go. So we're at the 4,000 level. And then for our support, I think it's fair to say that price can't really push past here. And this is equally a good place for resistance previous. So it's a place price has touched frequently. And we know that it's there. And if you want to clean this up, this is definitely let's see, 3,800. Yeah, this is the 3,800 level that we're looking at. And let's get rid of this. I don't know what this is for. Must have done this on accident. Oh, why must my chart work against me today, guys? All right, so backspace. There we go. All right, and I like my zones to be a little cleaner than this. So I'm gonna just, there we go. All right, so this is what we're working with. 4,000 to 3,800. This is our zone this week. And if we need to look further, we'll look further. But for now, this is where we're at. And we can obviously see right now, this last week we were bullish, but we did have some strong bearish momentum once we hit that level again. So we got, another rejection to the 4,000 level. We hit the 3,800 level once again. And now we're pushing back up. So we came down, went up, and we stopped here Friday and open of market today. This is where we're at. So we got 4 days left in this weekly candle. And so far we are bullish just a little bit. So if we look at the days that passed here, we do show that that week was a bit of everything. So we have our downtrend, which was then broken. So let me grab my trend line. All right, so we have our downtrend, which was then broken. And we see we have the uptrend that was started. And we currently have, the day Friday closed with the retest of this area, which is where prices broke out of. So right now, this is where we're at. Not much movement. It's only been about 6 hours since the market's opened, but essentially, we want to be checking to see what our move is going to look like on Tuesday. So we got major support resistance off of the weekly. We look at the 4 hour just to kind of get a complete understanding of what's happened on those last, closing days of the week. So general trend direction kind of, and then we can also kind of look at the 4 hour for price patterns. So we look to see if there's any reputable price patterns that we could take advantage of for entry. Right now, price is staggered at a level because we're waiting for news. So essentially what I think is going to happen is we are going to kind of stay in this area generally until Tuesday. Once we get the news that I showed here on Tuesday at 8:30, I'm pretty sure that this is going to well, if it's good, meaning it makes the US dollar stronger, then it's going to push this down, put it, to the 3,800 level. If it's weak or if it's bad and it makes the US dollar weaker, then we're looking at an upwards push past this 4,000 level, hopefully. Just generally speaking, in the past, it doesn't look like we've succeeded much except for this last month following. So this has generally been a time where the US dollar doesn't get a lot of good momentum, but we did see a turn to the upside, probably with the change to presidency the month prior to that. Yeah, and vaccines and all that stimulus package. There's a lot of good news that came out for the US dollar last month, or the end of last month. But essentially we were able to push through, which was good for currency. This week, it's kind of up in the air. So we don't really want to make any movements until we do see what's going on. But essentially 4 hour, we see that the trend's been broken. So this is just my confluences, guys. So you're going to see me as I break this down. So trend or downtrend broken. So we see that this was essentially just a pullback. So pullback for profits. Not sure if you guys have ever heard that. Oh, I said 4 hour more on the daily. So on the daily, let me go back. I apologize. And that's more than likely why I didn't notice a price pattern, because you don't really see them played out too well on the daily. But what we can see is that we had a week of, you know, bearish selling. And then we have a few days of bullish movement where the bulls tried to push the market to that 4,000 level after the bears got it to a level where bulls were willing to buy. So there was a lot of buyers here, a lot of buyers waiting, because you see, we tried it a few times last week and we saw that it rejected. So when we saw this rejection here, or all of this rejection here, we knew that it was coming back down. So there was a ton of people sitting here waiting to buy this back up to the 4,000 level, but we just didn't have the momentum. So as we can see right now, this is where we're at. So we broke the trend, as I mentioned. On a lower level, you can see that it was a broken trend retest. I mean, we can even clear the line a little bit. I think this is more appropriate, to be honest. So yeah, we got the broken trend. Not a real retest, but we do see that it came back into the area where price has been before. So you can definitely call that a retest. And then we see here so far we got, a lower high being created, um, just depending on what these next two candles do. So if we have two bullish candles, we can see that there's going to be bullish momentum, and it won't be a lot. It'll still stagger here in this area, but it'll push up a little bit. If not, it'll probably just stay generally in the 3900 to 39,500 area until Tuesday. So that's what we're looking at on GU. Not too much movement happening right now. But what I do is I go to the weekly for major support resistance. The daily, I kind of look to see what's going on with the trend or general direction of the trend. And this is how, I look for what I'm going to do next. So while we have the downtrend broken, we don't really know what it's going to do. We wouldn't be taking any buy entries really until price, breaks that 4,000 level. Essentially, that's where we have struggled with. So we need to get over that hump, and then we're on to the 4,200 level, which is the last place price is stopped. And we do have a mid stopping point as well, but that there was we want to go as far as possible. So I'm thinking 4,200. So daily downtrend broken, 4 hour price patterns, additional confluences. So those confluences could be, looking for lower highs, just checking to see like for rejections and things of that nature. So higher frames, it, means more, it's supported, it's a lot stronger. And then we go to the 1 hour for entries. Okay, so for my entries, I use two EMAs. I use an 8 and a 14. My 14 EMA is going to be red and my 8 EMA is going to be blue. So essentially what we are looking for in an uptrend is we're looking for the blue EMA to be crossed on top, and in a downtrend, the red EMA to be crossed on bottom. Now, as we see right now, we do show that the EMAs are crossed. If we were to zoom in, we see that blue is on top. However, with it being market open and we show all this rejection since open, I'd probably wait a little bit before taking any entries, especially because we did have some spikes, but we're just not getting the momentum we need, guys. So we need to wait a little bit. Right now, price is creating this little bit of a shelf here. And what it's going to do is it's going to come down and it's going to snag some money. There needs to be momentum for this to push up. So it's going to push down a little bit, and then we're looking at our ascension to 4,000 and hopefully beyond, because we have been struggling with this area for a couple weeks. I've actually been a little frustrated with it. So it looks like since February we've broken through and we haven't been able to push back in this zone. So yeah, that's where we're at. And once we see our entry, or like once we see something formidable that shows us we're going to get some good movement up, then we take our entry. Stop loss is always to be the last low created. So generally speaking, this is a downtrend. This is a retracement. I'm sorry. So I'd safely put my stop loss there, and I'd be okay to sleep at night with that. So with this type of stop loss, that's about 80 pips. You want a pretty considerable take profit. So if we're not going to get at least a 1 to 3 risk to reward, I'm really not interested. Now again, once we get a new high, then that low or that stop loss will come up. So we could bring it up to here, but we're looking at longer term trades. So I want to make sure my trade has some breathing room once Tuesday starts, because it's going to be, up and down. But yeah, that's essentially what we do, guys. We start from the weekly, get a major support and resistance. We go to the daily, look for trends. 4 hours, look for price patterns, additional confluences. We can use the 1 hour for entries. Even if you're not too sure whether you're in a pullback or not, you want to take your fib on your 1 hour, and you want to just check to see where you're at. So like right now, if we were to just scope the scene on this real mean to clean, we see price came to the 61.8 level. and rejected. And right now it's just kind of filing around the 38.2. So a more aggressive entry would be here. But again, we don't know if price is going to get here or get past here. So you can definitely, take those 30, 40 pips because it's not a loss at all. It's 50, 40, 50 pips. But I want the big money. I want the done data. So I'm gonna try to hold off for the 200 pip move that I can see happening very soon here. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Make sure, again, you like, share, and subscribe. But remember, the game is to teach the masses. So make sure you tune in each week and make sure you share it. Love and peace, people.